Good evening, this is Cab, here to drive you crazy. And of course, as you can see in the title of this video, I am moving. I am leaving, and not only just that, leaving the United States to go and live in the Philippines for at least the next 5 years, at least. This is something that I've kind of had a full understanding about for at least the last 2 weeks, but this was something I really wanted to have shared because there's a lot of people who I know do not know that I am leaving. And not only mention that I'm leaving, but actually moving. There's a lot of things that is on my mind about this situation right now, and there's a lot of things that makes it very difficult for me to have a good clarity in my security is the best way I can probably put it, but at the exact same time, just my safety. With everything that is still going on, with this virus and everything, I am very uncertain about the travel because there's only so much travel that is actually allowed from Hawaii to the Philippines, only 2 times a week now that the flight will even go. And one of the bigger problems that I'm having right now is understanding that as soon as I get there, the protocol that a brand new country is going to have to go through, especially with, again, trying to limit the amount of people who are obviously going there to make sure that this virus gets, shut down as best as possible. Thing is, a lot of the things that I'm trying to do is already as difficult as it may be to just go there, to live there, is also now having to fully understand that as soon as I get there, and this is only based off the information that I've heard so far, is I'm going to get there and know that immediately from the plane we'll have to take my test. I will be quarantined 3 to 5 days at the airport while waiting for this test result. Now, luckily, if my test results is negative, I can continue on with the process that I needed to do anyway for filling out my petition to be able to stay there for 5 years. And I guess I should share this too. My wife is, a government official worker for the Philippines in her area, and right now obviously she is in a part of lockdown because she is pregnant with our child. And one of the big things that I guess she said that the government will not allow is any kind of females who are pregnant to be doing that much travel, because to secure the safety of the birth of the child and to make sure that she has no potential way of catching the virus. So it was already a thing that we had tried to plan where she was supposed to come up here to Hawaii to have the baby be born here, all that good legal stuff, you know what I mean. Problem, obviously, with the virus happening the way that it happened, the government shutting down a lot of the information for her to be able to come up here with a visa to stay here for the time period to have the baby be born and all that. A lot of that got obviously thrown out the window. So the only thing that would ever make sense right now is knowing that I am gonna have to change my lifestyle right now, being born and raised here in America, Hawaii, and just basically say within not even a 2 months time period, less than 2 months time period, have to be told, get rid of everything, move up and be with my wife. Some people I know have like a difficult time trying to purchase their first house because that kind of stuff can be extremely stressful. Right now, I can tell you right now, I have an overwhelming sense of worry, and I'm trying not to make it sound like it's stress, but to be moving country is a very difficult thing. Trying to do it in the middle of a pandemic is not any easier. So again, it's where as soon as I'm even flying out to go to the Philippines, I don't even get to be with my wife for the first week. Because again, I'll be quarantined at the airport. Make sure that I come back negative on the test to be able to go get the paperwork that I need to go and get filled out to try and make sure that I can establish myself with the 5 years that I can be able to stay there, be there with my wife, raise our child, and then hopefully see where this pandemic ends up going. Other problem is knowing that if I am going to possibly get up there and then possibly be tested as positive, is knowing that immediately I am going to be quarantined again for another 14 days now. And there's no real like instructions for me to know exactly what is happening during that time. Even for that 3 to 5 days that I'm going to be staying at the airport, I don't know if that's like an airport hotel that they're going to allow me to stay at. I don't know if that is, somewhere that they've decided to facilitate certain people who are coming in from the other, international travel and keep them all in a certain location. Again, a lot of this stuff is not shared. A lot of this stuff isn't known because there's not that much people who I know that are doing this, not that much people who I can really talk to try and get some information about, because this is all still, like I said, brand new with how they are deciding to quarantine people, how they're going to decide to take care of the people who are coming in internationally. So a lot of this stuff is very stressful, but I am trying to be very prayerful about it, as is my wife. We just want to make sure that we can find the best way to get there, and know that I am going to try and make sure I can get to her safely, as timely as possible. The baby is expected mid-November, which is why I kind of wanted to try and make it end of September. So my confirmed flight date right now will be September 24th, and that's going to be the last day that I will be here in America for at least 5 years. Maybe more, I don't know. But at least for right now, the 5 years is a guaranteed. There is forms and paperwork and payments that are going to have to be made for this to be done. And luckily, we were blessed to meet up with someone when I was there back in February filing for my wedding, that we got to meet up with someone who was a worker that knows how to set up the paperwork for the immigration and in the embassy and all this. So luckily, we have been blessed very much to be able to receive this kind of information, have a better understanding of what we need to do. But again, one of the biggest things is just knowing that I will be gone. And it's such a big difference to know that, again, why I was selling off my car and trying to get rid of a lot of things that I have here at my house, just so that way I can have that extra money with me by the time that I'm leaving. I really hope to have a chance to maybe see a few people, see whoever I can before I have to leave, knowing that I may not ever get that chance again for another 5 years. Thank you very much for listening to this video. I am Cab, and I am here to drive you crazy. Thank you. God bless. Take care. Aloha.